tell you. It's funny how this paradox works with me also, because I am usually extremely courageous in dangerous situations. I don't know why, but for some reason, if it's about myself, I just panic. I don't have that courage. It's the same with me. I think, oh my God, if they shoot me, I won't even have time to worry.
What you have heard just now is an AI-generated conversion between Bavarian director Werner Herzog and Slovenian philosopher Slavoj Žižek. This innovative project utilizes advanced machine learning and AI technologies to generate realistic-sounding conversations. The project has its own website, infiniteconversation.com. It's a never-ending conversation. This platform offers an intriguing blend of art and artificial intelligence, creating a unique auditory experience where machines generate continuous dialogue between these two influential figures. However, these conversations are purely fictional, using sophisticated AI algorithms creatively. When you open this website, you are taken to a random point in the dialogue. Every day, a new segment of the conversation is added. New segments can be generated at a faster speed than what it takes to listen to them. The Infinite Conversation utilizes open-source tools that are accessible to anyone interested in AI voice synthesis. A popular language model, fine-tuned on interviews and content authored by Herzog and Zizek, forms the backbone of this project. This project serves as an awareness campaign about the capabilities and ethical considerations of AI voice synthesis, encouraging users to question the authenticity of digital content. This has been created by Giacomo Micheli, a computer scientist, new media artist, and entrepreneur who describes himself as a motivated fool with interests in philosophy, cinema, and machine learning. Giacomo claims he did the projects for 3 reasons. 1. Because I could. 2. As an awareness campaign over the powers of machine learning applied unscrupulously, as you can read on the About page. 3. As a love letter to Werner Herzog and Slavoj Žižek, their brilliant ideas and their idiosyncratic speech. Neither gave explicit consent for this project.
Yes, I think you're right. It's the same as with sports. If you look at people who are really good in sports, they are not the ones who are convinced that they will win. It's the ones who have the feeling that they will fail, but then they start to act as if they were going to win. And then, at some point in time, it becomes reality and they begin to actually win. So the only real winner is one who has the feeling that he will fail, but he acts as if he's going to win. Yes, that must be our attitude.
I fully agree with you. My first basic position is one of deep pessimism that the worst is to come, not only in the sense that the crisis will be bigger than we expect, but even more that the level of our awareness about what is going on is far from what the situation calls for. I don't think that it's a matter of learning how to control globalization. On the contrary, globalization is just here. It's simply a matter of time before even the existing economic system self-destructs. The only real solution is of an almost psychoanalytic character, that is to say, to learn how to live in the world without any global guarantees of security. You know what's so beautiful about this theory? That man is a fruit eater. This means that it was woman who seduced man into talking and inventing culture. You see, there is a paradox at the heart of this theory, which is that humanity was born because of a woman's voice. I love this theory. Yes, I agree with what you are saying. The only problem is that we are going to lose this paradise very soon. As you know, in my interpretation of fascism is basically what happens when you are deprived of your unconditional object. If you lose something which was unconditional, then sooner or later you need to invent it. My fear is that if we lose globalization, we will lose the global act. We will lose the unconditional basic agreement between it. And I'm almost certain that it will be replaced by some kind of fascistoid ethnic fundamentalism. I think that is our worst danger. Of course, today, when everything is so fast, we are giving absolutely no time for purgatory. There is only hell and heaven. That's the paradox. I think that soon we will get a much clearer idea of what it is like to be in hell, literally. Yes, no doubt about it. I think that it's not just about faith today. For me, it's a matter of absolute trust. You see, if you look at the terminology of military logic, trust is a totally deadly category. When you trust somebody in a crucial situation, you are relying on their knowledge. This means you have put your life in their hands. So the moment you trust them, you lose control over the situation. This is why when we use the term trust, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is unconditional faith. I think that today, in our secularized world, there is a need precisely to reintroduce this dimension of absolute trust, which doesn't rely on any substantial guarantee. For example, in primitive societies and also in ours, when someone tries to justify his sexual activity or whatever, he always refers to some ultimate line, my wife doesn't know about it, it doesn't endanger our relationship, and so on and so forth. The paradox here is that in order truly to trust somebody, you have to be ready to let them fully do what they want. Yes, but I think that this is maybe the first step towards absolute trust. The true test of absolute trust is when you have no reference points at all. It's like when you are on a high mountain and you rely totally on the cable that you are connected to, so there is no other reference point. It's precisely at this moment that you need absolute trust. So I think in this respect, the things are going to get even worse. Yes, more and more consequences of our decisions will get literally finalized in one way or another. So I think that this is the true problem of humanity, not in the sense of living in such a way that you are not involved in any kinds of crimes, but that we should decide to put an end to it. For example, I think that in Palestine, what you had was a miracle. I don't think that if you were to count the Palestinians and Israelis now, there would be as many Israelis as there were initially. But for some reason, and the same goes for Croatia, Bosnia, and so on, there was some kind of limit which wasn't crossed. Now, when you look at Rwanda, is it enough to rely on the idea that we will send troops there to intervene? Of course not. Why? Because things were taken to their extreme. You know, again and again and again, I had asked my Palestinian friends, why didn't it happen in Israel? The time was right to. What happened in Israel was a miracle. It could have happened. And I think that God or Allah or whatever, his name may be, he has been kind to us. So I think that the only hope is in this sense of absolute trust. So it's a question of, again, attitude. I think that today we are all too often caught into this kind of attitude, which is all too easily perceived as moralizing. And moralizing, ironically, is the ultimate form of modern cynicism. I don't mean that with a small letter, making a moralistic gesture. What I mean is the ultimate form of cynicism, to pretend that you don't care about the reality, and that you act only for some abstract cause. The true moralist is always the cynic. The conservative moralist who goes on about saving family values and whatever secretly doesn't give a damn about it and is just concerned by the fact that he can use it in order to fill in his own ideological void. So again, I think that to be true to the idea of morality, you have to be radically apocalyptic. In this sense, my image of a cynical moralist is false. You know, people who knew my father are usually surprised when they meet in it, because they expected me to look exactly like him. But I don't look like him at all. I look other moment. So I am totally different.